Hello. Today's episode number 51 of the Professor Slots podcast discusses slot manufacturer Scientific Games Corporation and their 2019 annual financial report. Plus, in this episode, I'll be covering the current state of slot machine casino gambling in the great U.S. states of Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, and Ohio, as well as the great U.S. territory of the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands 2019. Once again, that's my 2019 review of Scientific Games and 11 U.S. gaming jurisdictions. So settle in for my longest episode yet. This is going to take a while. Nevertheless, I think you'll find it interesting, yes, you, to have back-to-back explanations of what is happening in these states. Why? Because of their differences. State gaming regulations are always a little bit different, but it can be hard to notice this important but sometimes subtle difference without making a direct comparison. And with this episode, I am offering so many states back-to-back that it should be very helpful for you to understand these differences as I am beginning to. And no spoilers, but wait until you hear about Northern Mariana Islands. Seriously, their gaming situation is becoming an international incident. Plus, every segment is now loaded with additional commentary, which you won't find anywhere else. So stick around. Thank you for joining me for the Professor Slots podcast show. I'm John Friedel, and this is the podcast about slot machine casino gambling. It is where I provide knowledge, insights, and tools for helping you improve your slot machine gambling performance.
John Friedel from the Professor Slots blog reveals all his tips and tricks for thriving in the casino environment. Choose winning slot machines and identify your gambling goals. Being entertained, earning comps, winning take-home cash, or combining them.
In case you missed it, on my last episode, I went over my trip and review of Rivers Casino in downtown Pittsburgh, as well as the slot machine called Dragon Emblem Jackpots by Konami. Further, I reviewed Mississippi and Missouri slot machine casino gambling 2019. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Let's start with the first segment of the show, Scientific Games 2019. Scientific Games Corporation is a world-leading slot machine manufacturer. As a U.S.-based company, it files annual financial reports with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, under stock ticker symbol SGMS. With fascinating insights, SGC's filed reports to the SEC are a treasure trove for slots players. I review these filed reports, required by federal law to be easy to read, each year for you. Together, we'll learn about the current state of the world's gaming industry. This episode segment has the following subsections. 1. An introduction. 2. 2019 overall risk factors for SGC. 3. Overview of slots manufacturer SGC. 4. Gaming business segment. 5. Lottery business segment. 6. Social business segment. 7. Digital business segment. And 8. A summary. This year, SGC filed its Form 10-K annual financial report on February 28, 2019. Its contents cover the company's fiscal year, which, for SGC, is the 2018 calendar year. It's 286 pages long, but the treasure we are looking for is not too hard to find. You can find SGC's annual financial report Form 10-K at 2 locations online. 1. Search the SEC website using their fast search tool using SGC's stock ticker, SGMS. Or 2. Visit SGC's investors page under the SEC Filings tab. You'll be able to download it from there. Federal law requires company officers to offer risk factors and forward-looking statements about their business. These are the best thoughts of gaming experts, freely available to all, regarding their overall corporate position within their gaming industry markets of interest. Here, we will learn the current state of the gaming industry wherever SGC does business. Since they're a world leader in the gaming industry, this means the risk factors and forward-looking statements they describe are quite comprehensive. Forward-looking statements is where SGC lays out its expectations, plans, and strategies for the future. Their company plans are dependent upon risks and uncertainties in the world's gaming industry. This is the logic behind their needing to be so clear regarding potential risk factors. Most people who read these reports are financial investors, not necessarily slots players looking for advantage plays. Go figure. If you plan to invest in SGC, naturally you want to perform your own review of their annual report. With that understanding in mind, let's consider SGC's thoughts for the future of their company along with the risks involved. I've consolidated risk factors into topical areas, where each has a lengthy description provided in the financial report. Here they are. Risk topics include 1. SGC operates in highly competitive industries in 4 business segments. 2. Unfavorable U.S. and international economic conditions. 3. Changes in the replacement cycle of gaming machines. 4. Ownership changes and consolidation in the gaming industry. 5. Gaming opponents attempting to curtail legalized gaming. 6. Failure to succeed in ongoing research and development activities. 7. Responsiveness to consumer demand for creating appealing products. 8. The adverse effect of strict government regulations. That's a long section. 9. Legislative interpretation of sports wagering activities. 10. Failing to maintain intellectual property protection efforts. 11. Lack of a shift towards regulated online gaming despite expectations. 12. Lack of capitalizing on a change towards regulated online gaming. 13. Maintaining business relationships with key suppliers. 14. Obtaining and renewing lottery contracts. 15. Securing intellectual property and proprietary information. Here's a new one. Number 16. Security and integrity of SGC systems, products, and data privacy. And 17 is also new. Maintaining SGC's new global enterprise resource planning system. 18. Failure to maintain internal control of financial reporting systems. That's actually a pretty common one for most businesses. 19. Disruptive natural events in locations where SGC operates. 20. Inability to complete mergers and acquisitions. 21. A proposed initial public offering of minor interest in social gaming business. 22. Restructuring costs for prior mergers and acquisitions. Here's another new one for this year. 23. Complex revenue recognition standards for products and services. 24. Periodic operating results due to seasonability. 25. Business performance of suppliers and contract manufacturers. 26. Compliance risks due to foreign operations. 27. Oh, I like this one. The uncertainty of Brexit. 28. Substantive changes in the U.S. and international tax laws. 29. Dependence on key employees. 30. Potential violations of environmental laws. 31. Litigation costs. 32. Failing to meet contractual obligations. 33. Liability for product defects or other product claims. 34. Labor disputes. And the last 3 are also new. 35. Level of company indebtedness. 36. Maintaining company cash flow for operating activities. And 37. Decision-making influence of individual common stockholders. For you and I as slots enthusiasts, what does all this mean? It means that being a slot machine manufacturer is a risky business. And while SGC is working hard to keep us entertained, well, they may not succeed. These risk factors may turn into reality at a gaming jurisdiction where you play slots. If so, you may be disappointed. But perhaps you won't be as disappointed if you know these risks exist in advance. Further, some of these risk factors apply to the entire gaming industry. If they occur, they'll most likely affect all slot machine manufacturers. In turn, such risks to these companies are also risks to our being as entertained as we'd like. I suggest we wish them well. When compared to 2018 financial report, there are several additional risks, as well as one risk which is now missing. The missing risk is relevant to us slots players because it is about changing technology and the evolution of industry standards. What does it mean that new technology and industry standards are no longer a risk? As these topics relate to slots, there has been a lot of changes since around 2012. These changes have centered around the emergence of relatively new casinos with central computer servers remotely controlling slot machines on the casino floor. My best interpretation of this no longer reported risk being as a concern is that it's over, meaning implementation of the new technology was successful. Further, also updated were the corresponding gaming industry standards. Consequently, in the last year, SGC removed the risk from their annual financial report to the SEC. The 6 newly reported risks included 1. Security and integrity of SGC systems, products, and data privacy. right? Data privacy has been on everybody's mind lately since various Facebook things have happened. 2. Maintaining SGC's new Global Enterprise Resource Planning System. What? They have a new Global Enterprise Resource Planning System? What's that all about? 3. Complex revenue recognition standards for products and services. So what does that mean? Revenue standards are complex, so they're not getting paid in money, they're getting paid in something else, and they have to report that. There's things like intangibles like goodwill. I wonder what some of that is about. You may also wonder what some of that is about if you're very much interested in financial reports. 4. Level of company indebtedness. I guess you always have indebtedness, but this is so much indebtedness it might be a risk. Okay, interesting. 5. Maintaining company cash flow for operating activities. All right, so that's somewhat related to company indebtedness. There's potentially a company cash flow issue. That can be not good. If you can't pay your employees because you're out of cash 1 week, that's huge. And number 6, decision-making influence of individual common stockholders. Naturally, these are new risk areas SGC feels compelled to include this year. It seems reasonable that they'd add data privacy as a risk, given national concerns recently raised by Facebook and other privacy issues. Further, SGC has some risk concerns regarding their new resource planning system. I don't even know they had one. Did you? By reviewing these financial reports, these are the sorts of things we can learn. We can make what we will of the other business risks. Several company concerns seem to be implied, like high indebtedness and operating cash flow. Also, there are one or more company stockholders with enough influence that they're trying to influence company direction? Who are these people and what are they trying to do? I wonder. Maybe I should buy some SGC stock to get in on that conversation, even if only from the sidelines. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to share publicly, however. Plus, I'm only interested in anything having to do with slots. It's something to consider for next year's Scientific Games Corporation 2020 article. Scientific Games Corporation is incorporated in Delaware, as is typical for many other companies. That happened in 1984. In September 2017, SGC began the arduous process of changing their state of incorporation from Delaware to Nevada. This switch finalized in early 2018. My limited understanding of making this switch from Delaware to Nevada is that it is quite tricky. They must have had good reason to make the change. It must have had something to do with gaining a corporate advantage in Nevada, as no other changes seem to have occurred. Perhaps a lawyer would know more about the reasoning for making this change. However, it might need to be a gaming lawyer. Even then, any deal worked out with Nevada for making this switch, if there was a deal being made, may not be publicly available. SGC's corporate headquarters are in Las Vegas, which makes sense given Nevada's leadership role in the world's gaming industry. Be near your market, yes? Amongst numerous other sites, SGC's most extensive facilities supporting various segments of their company are in Las Vegas for corporate, digital, and gaming, Chicago for digital, gaming, and business, in Georgia, the state, not the country, the lottery, and in India for digital, gaming, lottery, and social. Their game development studios are in Las Vegas, Sydney in Australia, Manchester in England, and the cities of Bangalore, Chennai, and Pune in India. Most of the lottery research and development team is in Alpharetta, Georgia. Social gaming R&D personnel are in Cedar Falls in Iowa, Austin in Texas, Chattanooga in Tennessee, and Tel Aviv in Israel. Digital gaming R&D personnel are in Greece, India, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Other R&D staff is in Reno as well as Vienna in Austria. As of the end of December 2018, Scientific Games Corporation employed about 9,700 persons worldwide, including 4,700 employees in the U.S. and approximately 5,000 employed internationally. Total SGC employees increased by 1,100 individuals in the last year, with 1,000 of them added to their international locations. Total assets were $7.718 billion, slightly down from last year's $7.725 billion. SGC's total assets are 53%, somewhat more than half when compared to International Gaming Technology plc, another global leader in the gaming industry. Last year, SGC's total assets were 51% of IGT's. That means they've undergone a 2% increase in market share. For billion-dollar companies, that's a significant growth. Hopefully, we'll learn more about why this growth is happening for SGC. Here's a clue. In the last year, Scientific Games Corporation has updated its branding by removing its interactive gaming business segment and replacing it with social and digital gaming. In this way, they have increased their organizational structure from 3 to 4 business segments. These are 1. Gaming, 2. Lottery, 3. Social, and now 4. Digital. They have spent between $180 million and $200 million per year over the last 3 years in research and development activities in these 4 business segments. Scientific Games Corporation rightly points out that the international gaming industry requires continuous and diverse development of new technologies, products, and game themes. To be successful, SGC needs to meet this need. SGC's gaming products are in all U.S. gaming jurisdictions, meaning they are in all U.S. states, territories, and our federal district that regulate gambling to allow gaming devices. Further, they do business in 176 gaming jurisdictions outside of the U.S. Growth in the gaming business segment occurs when new casinos open and existing casinos expand. Further, the replacement rate of slot machines by casino operators also drives gaming industry growth. In turn, both growth drivers are themselves impacted by any changes in the availability of player disposable incomes. A significant portion of SGC's gaming business benefits is from a contract with a U.S.-based business. This contract represents a substantial portion of SGC's server-based gaming business. So, if you were wondering where those central computer servers came from, the servers that remotely change the odds of winning for slot machines in a casino, look no further. It's from Ladbrokes Coral Group, a subsidiary of GVC Holdings plc. I wonder if they have contracts with other slot manufacturers. Scientific Games Corporation states that they have 8 primary competitors within the gaming business segment. They are 1. Ainsworth Game Technology, 2. Aristocrat Leisure Limited, 3. Archer Gaming America Incorporated, 4. Every Games Incorporated, 5. International Game Technology plc, 6. Inspired Entertainment Incorporated, 7. Konami Digital Entertainment Incorporated, and 8. Novomatic Group of Companies and Play AGS Incorporated. Put another way, these are the manufacturers of other slot machines that you've most likely played. The casino management system market is also highly competitive. For this submarket in the gaming industry, their primary competitors are only Aristocrat, IGT, and Konami. Next up is the lottery business segment. There are approximately 180 lotteries worldwide, categorized as either draw or instant lottery games. Draw games involve picking a set of numbers which match those from a drawing held sometime later. Instant games involve scratching off a protective coating from a pre-printed ticket. Numbers of U.S. gaming jurisdictions having each lottery game type are 46 offer draw-style lottery games, and 44 offer instant-style lottery games. Both the draw lottery and instant lottery markets are highly competitive, including an ongoing price-based competition. Primary competitors for each lottery style include, for draw lottery, IGT, Intralot SA, and Telesales Group. For instant lottery, IGT, and Pollard Banknote Limited. In the last year, SGC began offering instant-style lottery games at an additional 11 U.S. gaming jurisdictions. SGC's lottery contracts with Florida, Pennsylvania, and Maryland all expire in 2019 unless renewed this year. Georgia's agreement extends through 2025. SGC also has 2 lottery contracts with the UK and Italy. If you happen to play the lottery at any of these 4 U.S. states, or either the UK or Italy, this intense competition means you're located in the right places to benefit from them. For the rest of us, however, we'll just have to buy a lottery ticket when we're in the area. Plus, we'll have to see next year if SGC can keep their lottery competitors at bay in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Up next is the social business segment. Scientific Games Corporation's social business segment includes games online as well as on smart devices such as mobile phones and tablets. Social gaming is non-wagering gameplay. It is where players have the option to spend real money during gameplay, but any winnings are not real money. Instead, winnings are for in-game use only. Last year, SGC did not yet have a social business segment. Instead, their so-called interactive business segment combined both online social gaming with real money online games. As I'd suggested in last year's analysis of SGC, social and real money online games are not the same. They should be separate business segments for, say, social and digital. Frankly, they are not the same activity or business. As I had explained, the same game played for real money gets a different response from players if it is instead for fun. A slots business needs to understand that popular social games aren't necessarily popular when it's for real money gaming and vice versa. And so it appears SGC has understood that change in the last year. Competition in the social gaming business industry is fierce. First, SGC competes with similar offerings from other slots companies, social gaming options from entertainment companies, and other forms of online entertainment such as video gaming, social media, and reading. Next is the digital business segment. In January 2018, SGC completed its acquisition of NYX, which formed the basis of SGC's digital business segment. This acquisition allows SGC a competitive offering, allowing interactive casino operators to utilize their NYX distribution platform and random number generator services by SGC's remote gaming servers. A few months later, in mid-May, the U.S. Supreme Court made its decision to lift the federal ban on sports betting. This ruling opened a path forward for sports wagering in those states prepared to offer this type of gaming. SGC believes itself to be well positioned with supporting these states, as well as to support its growth as more and more states approve sports wagering. Specifically, they feel they are ready for further deployment, as they call it, because of their game content, platform technology, and distribution capabilities. In summary, Scientific Games Corporation is in the business of providing slot machines, casino management software, lottery tickets, social games, and real money online gambling solutions for casino operators. Within the last year, SGC has significantly grown in market share compared to its primary competitor, International Game Technology plc. Further, they've split their interactive gaming division into social and digital gaming, in part to support online sports wagering. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second segment of the show on slot machine casino gambling. Here I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in 11 U.S. states, territories, or federal district, emphasizing, by far, anything of interest to slot machine casino gamblers. Up first is Montana Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. Montana Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of video gaming machines in many bars and taverns, as well as on 8 American Indian tribal reservations. All tribes can offer Class II bingo-style competition electronic gaming machines, but not all tribes do so. There are 5 tribes with tribal state compacts, allowing them to offer Class III Vegas-style gaming machines. Theoretical payout return limits have been legally set for Montana's bars and taverns having video gaming machines, VGMs. No minimum payout return limit has been legally set for Montana's tribal casinos. No actual payout return statistics are available for either. The minimum legal gambling age in Montana does not depend upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, poker rooms, bingo, lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 18 years of age. Under Montana law, businesses must have an alcohol beverages license before they can offer gambling activities, such as video gaming machines. If approved, they are legally limited to having 20 VGMs. Most are bars and taverns, but may also be laundromats, truck stops, and other small businesses. Montana collects a 15% tax on business income from video gaming machines. For the fiscal year 2017, this VGM gross business income tax generated nearly $60 million for the state general fund. The maximum bet on these commercial VGMs is $2, while the maximum payout is $800. Maximum bet and maximum award for gaming machines at tribal casinos depend upon the specifics of each tribal gaming compact. Further, each tribal gaming compact details the maximum number of machines at each tribal casino, as well as whether they will have Class III Vegas-style games. For the 7 federally recognized tribes in Montana, 1. Assiniboine and Sioux tribes of the Fort Peck Indian Reservation, their 2012 compact allows up to 750 Class III Vegas-style gaming machines. Their maximum bet and payout is $10 and $2,500 for regular gaming machines. 20% of machines may have high stakes, with $50 bets and $5,000 payouts. 2. Blackfeet tribe of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation. They do not have an existing tribal state compact and only offer Class II bingo-style gaming machines. 3. Chippewa Cree Tribe of Rocky Boys Indian Reservation. Their 2012 compact allows up to 750 Class III Vegas-style gaming machines. Maximum wagers on all machines is $10. Maximum payouts are $3,000 on up to 500 machines, and maximum payouts are $5,000 on up to 250 machines. 4. Crow Tribe of the Crow Indian Reservation. Their 2014 compact allows up to 925 Class III Vegas-style gaming machines. 2/3 may be regular stakes, with a maximum $10 bet and $3,000 payout. 1/3 may be high stakes, with a maximum $50 bet and $5,000 payout. 5. Grosvenor and Assiniboine tribes of the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation. Their 2007 compact allows up to 400 Class III Vegas-style gaming machines, and all machines have a maximum bet of $5 with a maximum payout of $2,000. 6. Northern Cheyenne tribe of the Northern Cheyenne Indian Reservation. Their 2013 compacts allows up to 750 Class III Vegas-style gaming machines, with a maximum payout of $3,000 on all gaming machines. And finally 7. Salish and Kootenai tribes of the Flathead Indian Reservation. They do not have an existing tribal state compact and only offer Class II bingo-style gaming machines. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In Montana, it is legal for slot machines to be privately owned if they are at least 30 years old. Montana has its Gambling Control Division within the Montana Department of Justice. Also, reporting to the Montana Department of Justice is the Gaming Advisory Council, GAC, advising on public policy matters related to gaming. The GAC meets twice a year and recently submitted its fiscal years 2017 to 2018 biennial report to the Montana State Legislature. In this section, I'll discuss Montana gambling establishments. Many bars and taverns in Montana have video gaming machines. Also, Montana has 8 tribal casinos. Some of these tribal casinos offer Class II bingo-style gaming machines, while others offer Class III Vegas-style gaming machines. The largest casino in Montana is Gray Wolf Peak Casino in Missoula, having 307 Class II bingo-style gaming machines. It is open Sundays through Thursdays from 8 a.m. to midnight. On Friday and Saturday, it is open from 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. There are 1,418 bars and taverns in Montana, having a total of 18,544 video gaming machines. A partial list of these Montana businesses with BGMs is available online from 500 Nations at 500nations.com. Montana has 8 tribal casinos, most but not all with a limited online presence. As usual, when there are too many casinos to mention here, a complete list along with links to their websites, assuming they've set one up, is available on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/mt. As an alternative to enjoying Montana slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Montana is bordered by, to the north, the Canadian provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. To the east, North Dakota and South Dakota. To the south, Wyoming. And to the west, Idaho. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my North Dakota slots article is available at professorslots.com/nd. Per Montana law, the minimum payout return percentage is 80% for video gaming machines, including video slots, bingo, keno, and poker, at Montana's bars and taverns. At these locations for video slot machines only, the maximum payout return percentage limit is 92%. No limits on payout returns have been set for Montana tribes, as usual, except for the Chippewa Cree tribe of the Rocky Boy Indian Reservation. Per their negotiated tribal state compact, slot machines designed and developed for exclusive use by the tribe do not have legal minimum and maximum payout return limits. However, slot machine game themes used in other gaming jurisdictions must have a maximum payout return limit legally set for video slots in Montana's bars and taverns, which is currently 92%. No actual payout return statistics or reports for gambling locations with commercial and tribal gaming machines in Montana are publicly available. In summary, Montana slot machine casino gambling consists of small businesses having up to 20 video gaming machines, as well as 8 tribal casinos. There are 1,418 Montana businesses having a total of 18,544 video slots, video keno, and video poker gaming machines. American Indian tribes in Montana with tribal state gaming compacts have negotiated to offer Class 3 Vegas-style gaming machines. The 2 tribes without gaming compacts offer Class 2 bingo-style electronic gaming machines. Commercial video gaming machines have a lower payout limit of 80%, and for video slots only, an upper payout return limit of 92%. Per their tribal state compacts, Montana's tribal casinos have no payout return limits except for the Chippewa Cree tribe. They have an upper limit of 92% on their non-exclusive slot machine game themes. Over the last year, Montana's gambling industry has seen steady revenues but very little growth. However, Gambling Control Division license applications have dropped by 10% in the last 2 fiscal years when compared to the 2 prior fiscal years. Also within the last year, Montana state law changed the definition of an antique gambling device from being at least 25 years of age to now being at least 30 years of age. This change applies to the private ownership of a slot machine in Montana. Otherwise, the tribal casino Apsaluki Knights Casino in Crow Agency, the only tribal casino owned and operated by the Crow tribe of Montana, has permanently closed. Also, the Northern Wince II Tribal Casino in Box Elder has changed its name to Bear Paw Casino. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is Nebraska Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. Nebraska Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 21 gambling centers. These are keno locations owned by Scottsbluff County, racetracks, and an American Legion post, as well as 4 American Indian tribal casinos offering 700 video gaming machines. None offer slot machines, but rather video bingo, video keno, and or video poker gaming machines. The state of gambling in Nebraska is one of the most perplexing of any U.S. state. The Nebraska legislature has defined games of chance and gambling very differently from other states, exacerbated by the lack of a gaming commission to establish clear gaming regulations. No limits for payout returns have been legally set. However, annual reports of payout return percentages can be calculated from revenue reports available from the state. The minimum legal gambling age in Nebraska depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, it's 18. And for the lottery and parimutuel wagering, it's 19. What is unusual about gambling in Nebraska is how the state legislature has chosen to define it. The Nebraska legislature states that all forms of gambling are illegal. They have identified games of chance as being gambling. However, they have been very selective when identifying what is and is not a game of chance. For example, Nebraska law does not define the state lottery, racing, bingo, keno, pickle cards, and more as games of chance. Under this interesting and unusual interpretation of games of chance and gambling by the Nebraska legislature, there truly are no legal forms of gambling per state law. By most other states' accepted definition of gambling, however, gambling does exist. If you'd like to play a typical electronic gaming device such as video keno, video poker, or video bingo, then there are about 21 locations in Nebraska that offer them. Most other states would call these locations casinos, but not Nebraska. Why? Because gambling is illegal in Nebraska. Having ignored that gambling exists in Nebraska, the state legislature has created a rather convoluted issue. Until games of chance are redefined by the state, with an associated loss of face caused by such backtracking, then the state cannot establish a state gaming commission. The history of gambling in Omaha, Nebraska is interesting if you take a look at the Wikipedia article on the topic. Further, there is a close but less than clear connection between Nebraska's gaming centers and tribal gaming. For instance, both bingo and pickle cards are divided up into 2 types, Class 1 tribal ceremonial games and Class 2 competition-style games. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is illegal to privately own a slot machine in the state of Nebraska. Nebraska does not have a state gaming commission, other than a charitable gaming division within the Nebraska Department of Revenue. While normally irrelevant to our interests as slot machine casino gamblers, in Nebraska it is where gaming revenues are. These Nebraska gaming revenues are divided up into keno, pickle cards, bingo, and lottery raffle. Total dollars wagered in the last full fiscal year was over $280 million. It's worth mentioning that nearly 88% of this revenue came from Keno. Another 7% came from pickle cards, with the remainder roughly split between bingo and lottery or raffle. The Charitable Gaming Division currently offers a 2017 Charitable Gaming Revenue Report, an IRS publication 3079L, gaming publication for tax-exempt organizations, a Keno tip line, and a gambling assistance program. The Keno tip line at 877-TIP-KENO, that's 877-847-5366, is an excellent example for Nebraska's need of a state gaming commission, as well as state gaming regulations. With this tip line, the division asks you to call if you suspect any wrongdoing, including 1. A player allowed to bet on credit, 2. Keno workers playing Keno while on duty, 3. Minors, that is under the age of 19, allowed to play Keno, and 4. An irregularity in the gaming number selection process, the ball draw. Further, the division states this tip line is the first step to help them make sure all Keno games are operated fairly. Why? Because it really is the first step, without having state gaming regulations in place to protect Keno players within the state of Nebraska. What about other forms of gambling? Do they each have their own tip line? No, they do not. With other forms of gambling, they don't even have the first step available to Keno players if wrongdoing occurs. But it would be unfair of me to state that there are no gaming regulations in Nebraska. It's just confusing when the definition used to define gambling in Nebraska lead to looking for laws that aren't gaming regulations. For instance, a primary driver for states that have state gaming regulations is so they can be sure to tax any gaming revenue. And Nebraska has certainly not failed to establish laws for collecting taxes on gaming. There have been attempts to establish a state gaming commission. In 2004, an initiated state statute was proposed which, if it had not been defeated by 52.78% of those voting, would have created a Nebraska Gaming Commission to regulate gaming. This was called Measure 420, or alternatively the Nebraska Gaming Commission and Casino Regulation Initiative. The measure would have permitted communities to authorize games of chance and the use of gaming devices at casinos, racetracks, and establishments that sell liquor on the premises. Established in 2010 as a private organization called the Nebraska Gaming Commission, this online resource admits to having no affiliation with the Nebraska government or the U.S. federal government. With the lack of a state-run gaming commission, this private organization offers gaming resources for Nebraska gamblers, including 1. Basic info, for example, where to report a violation. 2. Tax info, for example, where to get various gambling-related tax forms. 3. Legal info, for example, where to find regulations on operating a gambling device. And 4. Other info, for example, where to find state information on gaming. Frankly, the website of the private Nebraska Gaming Commission is not comprehensive, nor particularly well vetted, but it is perhaps better than nothing. That the site exists at all should tell Nebraska legislatures of the dire need for a true state gaming commission, despite the Charitable Game Division doing its best. But any state gaming commission needs clear state gaming regulations to do their job of properly protecting the residents of the state, and Nebraska doesn't have them. At least they don't have any clearly stated gaming regulations. There are 21 gambling centers in Nebraska. Of these, 4 are racetracks, of which 1 has electronic gaming devices. Another 4 casinos are owned and operated by 3 American Indian tribes. The remaining 12 gambling centers are bars, taverns, or other small businesses, such as American Legion Post 32, throughout the state. The largest casino in Nebraska is La Jolla Casino and Resort in Niobrara, having 190 gaming machines. The second largest casino is Rosebud Casino and Valentine, having 250 gaming machines. The 13 non-tribal gambling centers include 5 county-owned Keno locations and 8 other small businesses. The 5 Keno locations, owned by Scottsbluff County in the towns of Scottsbluff, Mitchell, and Morrill, are listed on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/NE. Further, also listed in that article on Nebraska are the 8 small businesses having electronic gaming machines in Nebraska, along with Nebraska's 4 racetracks, only a few of which offer electronic gaming machines. Nebraska has 4 tribal casinos operated by either the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, which owns 2 of them and 1 each by the Omaha Tribe of Nebraska, and the Santee Sioux Tribe of Nebraska. Finally, Nebraska's 4 tribal casinos are also listed along with links to the website, assuming they've set one up, on my blog article for this state at professorslots.com/NE. As an alternative to enjoying Nebraska slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Nebraska is bordered by, to the north, South Dakota, to the east, Iowa and Missouri, to the south, Colorado and Kansas, and to the west, again, Colorado and Wyoming. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its two-letter designation. For example, my South Dakota Slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/SD. Further, the Prairie Flower Casino, an Iowa tribal casino in Carter Lake, opened in November 2018 in the Scottsbluff area, less than half a mile from the Iowa-Nebraska border and just south of Omaha. This casino opened despite legal challenges from the state legislature in Council Bluffs, Iowa. No payout return limits are available for electronic gaming machines in Nebraska. Actual gaming statistics for Keno is available for the fiscal year. Annual reporting of gaming revenues shows gross earnings and number of licensees by county. However, these annual reports also show total gross wagered and business expenses paid out in prizes. Therefore, we can calculate an annual payout return percentage for each game type. The statewide annual statistics for the fiscal year ending June 2017, the latest available report, are for Class 1 bingo games, 77%. For Class 2 bingo games, 63.1%. For all bingo games, 65.8%. For Class 1 pickle games, 75.7%. For Class 2 pickle games, 71%. And for all pickle games, 71.9%. For Keno, it's 76.6%. And for lottery and raffle combined, it's 31.5%. Wow, that's a very low payout return percentage for lottery and raffles in Nebraska. In summary, Nebraska slot machine casino gambling consists of 21 gambling centers, many of which offer mostly video Keno. Of these, 3 are racetracks without electronic gaming machines and 4 are tribal casinos. The remainder are small businesses such as bars and taverns. The Nebraska legislature has defined games of chance and gambling very differently from other states, exacerbated by the lack of a gaming commission to establish clear gaming regulations. No limits for payout returns have been legally set. However, annual revenue reports from which payout return percentages can be calculated are available from the Nebraska state government for bingo, Keno, pickle cards, and lottery raffle combined electronic gaming machines. Over the last year, one non-tribal casino closed in Nebraska, specifically the Sugar Club in Scottsbluff. However, another Keno location opened by Scottsbluff County called Red's Bar and Grill in Mitchell. Further, the total number of electronic gaming machines in Nebraska's tribal casinos dropped from around 900 machines to nearly 700 machines. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is Nevada Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. Nevada Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 168 casinos, of which 73 exist within the cities of North Las Vegas and Las Vegas. Further, there are 93 casinos spread across 27 other Nevada cities, including Reno and Lake Tahoe. Also, Nevada has 2 American Indian tribal casinos located in Laughlin and Moapa. Nevada gaming regulations have legally established a minimum payout return limit, but not a maximum limit. Actual payout return statistics are publicly available as well as quite comprehensive. The minimum legal gambling age in Nevada does not depend upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, poker rooms, bingo, the lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 21 years of age. Gaming regulations developed by Nevada, both in terms of state employees as well as challenges contributed by lawyers, advisors, and academic studies, have been the standard for the whole world through its 80-year history. For a thorough review of Nevada's global leadership role in establishing gaming regulations, listen to my episode number 32, Nevada Leadership and Nevada Slots 2018. Up next is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In Nevada, it is legal to privately own a slot machine without any legal restrictions regarding its date of manufacture. Nevada gaming is regulated by the Nevada Gaming Control Board and Nevada Gaming Commission. Given Nevada's reputation, this website reflects its global leadership role in the gaming industry. Put another way, it's thorough and comprehensive. Their About Us webpage speaks to their establishment by the 1955 Nevada legislature, as well as their mission and guiding principles. Again, these explanations should be understood in light of their global role. In this section, I discuss Nevada gambling establishments. There are 166 non-tribal casinos and 2 American Indian tribal casinos in Nevada, the highest number of casinos found in any U.S. state. Once completed in late 2020, the largest casino in Nevada will be Resorts World Casino, Las Vegas, in Winchester, having 3,250 gaming machines and 250 table games. Construction began in late 2017 at the former site of the Stardust Resort and Casino. The second largest casino is Treasure Island, Las Vegas, having 2,500 gaming machines and 185 table games. Given the sheer number of casinos in Nevada, you should expect many openings, closings, and name changes to occur annually. For staying up to date every week, which is what is necessary for Las Vegas news and information, there are more than a few recreational gambling podcasts available for your listening pleasure. The 166 non-tribal commercial casinos located in Nevada are listed on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/NV, along with the city they are located in. Given certain website limitations for providing URLs of each casino, I've had to create a separate downloadable list of Nevada casinos by city, which you'll also find a link to at professorslots.com/NV. There are 2 tribal casinos in Nevada: AV Resort and Casino in Laughlin, found 100 miles south of Las Vegas, near the state border to Arizona, and Mopa Tribal Casino in Mopa, found 51 miles northeast of Las Vegas. As an alternative to enjoying Nevada slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Nevada is bordered by, to the north, Idaho and Oregon, to the east, Arizona and Utah, and to the west and south, California. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Idaho slots article is available at professorslots.com/ID. Casinos have been established on Nevada's borders to neighboring states to provide access to Nevada gaming to residents of those other states, including at the Arizona-Nevada border, the cities of Laughlin and Mesquite; at the California-Nevada border, the cities of Jean, Lake Tahoe, Primm, Reno, and Verde; at the Idaho-Nevada border, the city of Jackpot; and at the Utah-Nevada border, West Wendover. Per Nevada State Gaming Regulation 14.040, Minimum Standards for Gaming Devices, the minimum payout return, quote, must not be less than 75% for each wager available for play on the device, end quote. With regards to actual payout returns, monthly statistics for slot machines are available from the Nevada Gaming Control Board and Nevada Gaming Commission in the form of win percent. Given the comprehensiveness of Nevada gaming statistics, it is essential to show how they are organized. They are 1. Table games versus slot machines. 2. Slot machine denominations. 3. Duration, which are month, 3-month, and 12-month. And 4. The district within the state. First, they are divided up between table games and slot machines. I will only be covering slot machine payout returns, but table game statistics are also found within the website links I will provide. The second division for Nevada payout return statistics is by slot machine denomination, or more precisely, by the minimum amount bet for each slot machine. A total is provided, as well as megabucks and multi-denominational slot machines. These are 1-cent penny slots, 5-cent nickel slots, 25-cent quarter slots, $1 dollar slots, megabucks, $5, $25, $100 multi-denominational machines, other slot machines, and total slot machines. Nevada payout return statistics are further provided by current month, last 3 months, and last 12 months. These statistical summaries are provided by the Nevada Gaming Commission under the Gaming Revenue Information site under their Statistical and Publications webpage. The next division is by location, specifically by the district within the state. These are often Nevada counties, but sometimes in areas such as Clark County, North Las Vegas area. The 25 gaming districts in Nevada are listed on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/NV. Keeping all these divisions in mind will assist you in locating the payout return statistics you are interested in. If you are unsure where the casino you are interested in is located within the state, look it up in the list I provided on my website, which is organized by its city, to find the county it is located in. Normally, for most other states which make them publicly available, I provide a summary of the latest month's payout return statistics. However, this is problematic with regards to Nevada casinos given their large quantity and number of divisions possible. To pick only one possible selection as an example, let us consider the December 2018 payout return statistics for casinos in the downtown Las Vegas area. The summaries provide a column called win percent. In this case, the percentage of how much the casino wins, which needs to be subtracted from 100% to determine how much the player wins. If you choose not to subtract the win percents by 100%, just understand that you're looking for the smallest value. I'll note here that most other states define win percent as the percentage which the player wins. However, in Nevada, it's how much the casino wins. So the percentage won by players in December 2018 on slot machines in downtown Las Vegas by slot machine denomination are shown on its page 8 to be, for penny slots, just over 89%. For nickel slots, the highest at just over 95%. For quarter slots, just a little bit under 94%. For $1 slots, 94%. For megabucks, about 86.5%. For $5 slots, almost 92%. For $25 slots, about 93.5%. For multi-denominational machines, just over 94%. And for total slot machines in the downtown Las Vegas area for December 2018, it's 92.27%. Under these specific parameters, the best payout return for players is nickel slots, followed by multi-denominational and dollar slots, while the best payout return for casinos is megabucks, followed by penny slots. In summary, Nevada slot machine casino gambling consists of 168 casinos. Of these, 73 are in Las Vegas or North Las Vegas, while 2 others are tribal casinos. The minimum payout return limit for slot machines in Nevada is no less than 75% per gaming device. No maximum payout return limit has been legally established. Payout return statistics are comprehensive and available online. Over the last year, Gold Strike Hotel and Gambling Hall in Jean was renamed Terrible's Hotel and Casino. In Lake Tahoe, the Calneva Resort and Casino has closed for renovation. This may be more serious than a renovation as their website has also shut down. In Las Vegas, the Monte Carlo Resort and Casino became the Park MGM. In Laughlin, Pioneer Hotel and Gambling Hall is no longer a casino, but rather Stoney's Rockin' Country. In Lovelock, the Sea Punch Inn and Casino closed. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is New Hampshire Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. New Hampshire slot machine casino gambling does not exist. There are 27 licensed locations without slot machines, which instead offer keno, bingo, and many table games. New Hampshire's charitable gaming regulations provide for these licensed locations. However, state gaming regulations require fundraisers offering table games with chance to provide 35% of their revenue to the charities they are sponsoring. Note this is 35% of the revenue, not their profit. Therefore, the theoretical payout return must be at least as low as 65% for organizers to break even on their costs for holding a fundraiser. If you look over which table games are available at these fundraisers, you'll see many typical table games. As stated in the regs, quote, games of chance include money wheel, roulette, craps, blackjack, poker, and similar card games, end quote. However, there's no mention of dice games in the gaming regulations, so at first I thought it was possible that craps isn't legal. However, I've also looked over the websites of a few locations, and some of them do advertise that craps is available for players. The minimum legal gambling age in New Hampshire depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, it's 21. For poker rooms, bingo, lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 18. New Hampshire has banned commercial casinos, although the state allows licensed commercial bingo halls. While simulcast betting is allowed, no live racing has been held since 2009. Tribal gaming is non-existent as New Hampshire has no federally recognized American Indian tribes. With regards to slot machines, as stated in the State Gaming Regulation, Chapter 287-D, quote, any game involving the use of a slot machine or any other device in the nature of a slot machine, end quote, is prohibited per state gaming regulation. However, the charitable gaming industry has spread across the state over the last 40 years. These charitable gaming sites are available through small-scale venues such as malls and pubs. Larger sites include defunct former parimutuel racetracks. Charitable gaming has spread across New Hampshire due to a charitable provision in state laws. Via this legislation, poker rooms and casino clubs can partner with charities to donate 35% of the revenue from any game of chance. Nearly 400 charities currently attach themselves to these rooms and clubs. Recently, nonprofit organizations in New Hampshire have been hosting fundraising events that offer casino-style games, including poker, blackjack, and roulette. These events are a combination of a raffle, which is legal, and games of chance, which is illegal without a license. The main point of contention is that attendees pay a fee or donation in exchange for chips or play money to use at the fundraiser. The State Gaming Commission has recently published an advisory to New Hampshire nonprofits that such fundraising events must obtain a license per state gaming regulations for games of chance. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to privately own a slot machine in New Hampshire if it is at least 25 years old. New Hampshire's Gaming Control Board is the New Hampshire Gaming Regulatory Oversight Authority, GROA. Furthermore, the Racing and Charitable Gaming Commission is a division of the New Hampshire Lottery Commission. The GROA provides oversight for both commissions. It's worth mentioning that the New Hampshire Lottery, established in 1964, is the oldest state lottery and the second oldest U.S. lottery. The oldest lottery in the U.S., established in 1934, is the Puerto Rico Lottery. The Racing and Charitable Gaming Commission regulates 1. Keno, 2. Simulcast racing, 3. Games of chance, 4. Bingo, 5. Lucky 7, and 6. Fantasy sports. There are many locations in New Hampshire offering table games or bingo, but none offer slot machines. There are no tribal casinos. No cruise ships are available along New Hampshire's relatively short coastline with the Atlantic Ocean. The largest casino in New Hampshire is Cheers Poker Room and Casino in Salem, having no gaming machines and 25 table games. The second largest casino is River Casino and Sports Bar in Nassau, having no gaming machines and 6 table games. New Hampshire currently has 13 licensed commercial bingo halls. It also now has 14 licensed games of chance facilities. Links to a list of these gaming establishments is available on my website blog article for the state at professorslots.com/nh. There is no tribal gaming in New Hampshire due to the state having no federally recognized American Indian tribes. As an alternative to enjoying New Hampshire slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. New Hampshire is bordered by, to the north, the Canadian province of Quebec, to the east, Maine, and 18 miles of shoreline with the Atlantic Ocean, the shortest ocean shoreline of any U.S. coastal state. To the south, Massachusetts, and to the west, Vermont. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my main slots article is available at professorslots.com/ME. As New Hampshire does not offer slot machines, there are therefore no payout return statistics or limits. However, it's worth mentioning that charitable gaming regulations require that fundraisers give 35% of the revenue to the charity they support, so the minimum payout return for table games must be 65% or less if a fundraiser is to break even on the cost of holding the event. In summary, New Hampshire slot machine casino gambling prohibits slot machines or other electronic gaming machines of a similar nature. Only Keno, bingo, and table games are available via charitable gaming regulations. Further, New Hampshire has neither tribal gaming nor cruise ships to international destinations. Over the last year, the Lakes Region Casino has been replaced by River Casino and Sports Bar as New Hampshire's second largest casino. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is New Jersey Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. New Jersey Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 9 casinos in Atlantic City. No other offline locations in New Jersey allow slot machines, including at 3 pari-mutuel racetracks and 5 off-track betting facilities. However, there are 2 internet gaming affiliates available for online gaming if you are physically located within the state. The state of New Jersey gaming regulations has legally set a minimum payout return limit for slot machines in Atlantic City. No maximum payout return has been set. The minimum legal gambling age in New Jersey depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, lottery, and pari-mutuel wagering, it's 18. Historically, New Jersey's Atlantic City established legalized gaming on the eastern side of the United States from Nevada. New Jersey voters legalized casino gambling in Atlantic City in 1976. The New Jersey Casino Control Act became state law in 1977. The first casino in New Jersey, the Resorts International Casino, opened in Atlantic City in 1978. During their peak in 2006, when they were the only commercial casinos in the eastern U.S., Atlantic City casinos were an economic boon. Subsequent openings of many casinos and racinos throughout the eastern states, along with the Great Recession, has hugely reduced the profitability of Atlantic City casinos. As indicated by the reopening of 2 casinos in mid-2018, there has been a recent upturn in profitability. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In New Jersey, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if manufactured before 1941. The State of New Jersey Casino Control Commission regulates online and Atlantic City casino gambling. This regulation is shared with the state's Division of Gaming Enforcement. The Commission is an independent agency while the division is an arm of the New Jersey Attorney General's office. A particular flavor of state gaming regulations for New Jersey is publicly available from the Casino Control Commission. However, those are mostly for establishing a safe and robust gaming industry within the state, such as the licensing of casino operators. Of more interest to slot machine enthusiasts are the gaming regulations from the Division of Gaming Enforcement. For example, the Division of Gaming Enforcement announces Atlantic City jackpots of $50,000 or more won each year in Atlantic City, including such information as the date, the casino, the jackpot amount, the slot machine denomination, manufacturer, and game theme. Further, the division makes publicly available gaming financial and statistical information, including monthly and quarterly gross revenue reports. The monthly gross revenue reports will be most useful with regards to payout return statistics. In this section, I'll discuss New Jersey gambling establishments. There are 9 commercial non-tribal casinos and no tribal casinos in New Jersey. The largest casino in New Jersey is Resorts Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, having 2,500 gaming machines and 76 table games. Plans continue to exist for an even larger casino in East Rutherford, New Jersey, at the site of the Meadowlands racetrack. This Hard Rock Casino at Meadowlands would be convenient for New York City residents. New Jersey residents overwhelmingly rejected this casino proposal in 2016. Furthermore, an Associated Press analysis showed it might be the most successful casino in the country due to its proximity to New York City. However, this success would likely be at the expense of casinos in Atlantic City. Finally, the New York Gaming Commission is currently considering approving a Manhattan casino as soon as December 2022. The likelihood of this Meadows casino opening seems minute, but Hard Rock International has already made a significant financial investment a few years ago, and they state they do not want to lose that investment. Atlantic City, New Jersey's 9 casinos are listed along with links to their websites on my article for this state at professorslots.com/NJ. By name only, they are Bally's, Borgata, Caesars, Golden Nugget, Hard Rock, Harrah's, Ocean, Resorts, and Tropicana. The Wild Wild West Casino is officially a portion of Bally's Atlantic City, often considered by the public to be a separate casino. 3 tribes have received recognition from the state of New Jersey. However, none are federally recognized tribes, a requirement for tribal gaming under the Federal Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. Therefore, there are no tribal casinos within the state. As an alternative to enjoying New Jersey slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. New Jersey is bordered by, to the north, New York, to the east and south, Atlantic Ocean, to the south and west, Delaware Bay, and to the west, Pennsylvania. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my New York slots article is available at professorslots.com/NY. Another gambling alternative is online gaming, which is available if you are physically located within the state of New Jersey. These 2 companies are Caesars Interactive Entertainment, New Jersey, LLC, and Resorts Digital Gaming, LLC. The State of New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement provides online an official list of internet gaming sites. As the state government website clearly states, if an online gaming site is not on this list, it is not approved to offer internet gaming in the state of New Jersey. Know it, use it, love it. Seriously. Remember what I've always said? Have fun, be safe, and make good choices. So make good choices and confirm your internet gaming choice is an authorized site. Note that in practice, due to the nearest cell phone towers and such limits, you'll need to be several miles within the border of New Jersey before online servers recognize that you are physically within the state. Within New Jersey is also 3 parimutuel facilities with live horse racing and daily simulcast race betting, including Freehold Raceway, Monmouth Park, and Meadowland Racetrack. 5 other off-track betting halls exist, including Winners Bayonne, as well as 4 Favorites facilities located in Gloucester Township, Toms River, Vinland, and Woodbridge. This does not include numerous racebook facilities which started operations since early last year's sports betting ban was lifted by the U.S. Supreme Court. Regarding theoretical payout returns in New Jersey, state gaming regulations require all slot machines have a minimum payout return of at least 83%. There have been some changes on the State of New Jersey's Division of Gaming Enforcement website with regards to payout return statistics. From 2013 to 2017, the annual casino win percentage details are in their historical statistics page. These reports are yearly statistics. Most recently, the Division of Gaming Enforcement has begun providing monthly gross gaming revenues with casino win statistics. These monthly statistics are quite a bit more useful to us than the annual results were. Like Nevada's payout return statistics, New Jersey also provides a win percent, which is the amount won by the casino rather than the amount earned by the player. To determine the amount earned by the player, take the win percent provided in these reports and subtract it from 100%. For January 2019, the latest monthly gross gaming revenue report available at the time I wrote this New Jersey article, the overall payout return statistics for all slot machines at each of the 9 casinos in Atlantic City are available on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/ny. For January 2019, the highest payout return for players goes to Harrah's at 92.2%, closely followed by the Borgata at 92.0%. The lowest payout return went to Tropicana at 90.7%, closely followed by the Golden Nugget at 90.8%. In summary, New Jersey slot machine casino gambling consists of 9 casinos in Atlantic City, as well as internet gaming choices if physically located within the borders of New Jersey. New Jersey's theoretical payout return legal limit for slot machines is 83%. No maximum limit was set. Actual payout return statistics became publicly available monthly in 2018. However, these slot machine statistics are by casino, rather than, as is often done in other states such as Nevada, further broken down by slot machine denomination. On the same day in the last year, on June 28, 2018, 2 casinos reopened in Atlantic City. Hard Rock Hotel Casino Atlantic City, formerly Trump Taj Mahal, which closed in October 2016, and Ocean Resort Casino, formerly Revel, which closed in September 2014. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is New Mexico Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. New Mexico Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 21 American Indian tribal casinos and 5 commercial pari-mutuel racetracks with slot machines. Also, there are over 50 non-profit sites offering slot machines. New Mexico has far more slot machines per state resident than any other state. Commercial casinos have set minimum and maximum payout return limits, and tribal casinos have a minimum payout return. However, neither publicly report their payout return statistics. The minimum legal gambling age in New Mexico depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, there's no limit. And for the lottery and pari-mutuel wagering, it's 18. Pari-mutuel wagering has been legal since the 1930s, having a thriving industry until the late 1980s when Texas legalized pari-mutuel wagering. However, recovery and stability occurred when New Mexico legalized offering slot machines in their casinos. In 1995, the state and 25 federally recognized American Indian tribes, or Pueblos, negotiated 13 identical state tribal gaming compacts, eventually approved after various delays. Each tribe is associated with at least one Indian casino in New Mexico. Several amendments made in the 1995 state tribal compacts include a requirement that the tribal casino reports a net win amount. These compacts currently expire in 2037. Each of New Mexico's racinos may legally have up to 750 gaming machines, including 600 of their own and 150 leased for another pari-mutuel facility. By state law, 26% of the net take in monthly gaming taxes is paid to the state of New Mexico. Further, 20% of the net take from racino gaming machines must go to horsemen's purses, which has been a significant amount. In the fiscal year 2014, over $50 million was added to horsemen's purses from gaming revenues. Finally, a thriving charitable gaming industry exists in New Mexico. Dozens of nonprofit organizations offer electronic gaming machines legal under state gaming regulations. These slot machines are similar to those found in New Mexico racinos. Regarding slot machine private ownership, Privately owning a slot machine has only recently become available. Legal restrictions on obtaining it are highly limited to the following terms. 1. It must be purchased from a distributor or manufacturer licensed to distribute and manufacture slot machines in New Mexico. 2. Only such New Mexico licensed distributors and manufacturers may transport gaming machines in New Mexico. 3. The homeowner may not make a profit from having the slot machine. 4. Persons who play on the machine can play for winnings only. 5. The homeowner may not offer the slot machine for resale without a license. 6. The homeowner may not transport a slot machine from one location to another without a license. And 7. A homeowner charging a fee to play or keeping a portion of monies for any reason would be commercial gambling, which without a gambling license is a felony. As an exception, an antique gambling device may be legally owned without restriction, provided it was manufactured before 1970, as well as is not used for gambling. In 1997, the state legislature established the New Mexico Gaming Control Board. Its website is both highly comprehensive and easy to navigate. It includes maps of commercial racetrack racinos and nonprofit casinos in New Mexico. There are 5 non-tribal racinos and 21 American Indian tribal casinos in New Mexico. The largest casino in New Mexico is Sandia Resort and Casino, a tribal casino in Albuquerque having 2,900 gaming machines. The second largest casino is Isleta Resort Casino, a tribal casino in Albuquerque having 1,600 gaming machines and 25 table games. The 5 pari-mutuel wagering racinos with slot machines in New Mexico, along with their city and links to their websites, are available on my article for this state at professorslots.com/nm. Casino-style gaming permits by tribal state compacts includes 25 tribes and pueblos of New Mexico for a total of 21 tribal casinos. The New Mexico tribal casinos are also listed along with links to their website on my article for this state at professorslots.com/nm. As an alternative to enjoying New Mexico slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. New Mexico is bordered by, to the north, Colorado, to the east, Oklahoma and Texas, to the south, Texas and the country of Mexico, and to the west, Arizona. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Colorado slots article is available at professorslots.com/co. New Mexico also offers licenses for slot machines at nonprofit organizations. There are currently 60 nonprofit gaming licenses throughout the state. State gaming regulations require slot machine payout returns at racetrack casinos and nonprofit organizations to be from 80% to 96%. Tribal state compacts stipulate all electronic gaming machines at tribal casinos have a minimum payout return of 80%. Payout return statistics are unavailable from commercial and nonprofit electronic gaming machine licensees per state gaming regulations. Further, neither do state tribal compacts require them from tribes or pueblos. New Mexico is surprising because its tribal casinos have a minimum payout return. This minimum payout return limit of 80% matches that of New Mexico's commercial non-tribal casinos. Given that commercial casinos have a maximum limit of 96%, while tribal casinos have none, it's a clear choice for slots players. Leaving all other considerations aside, there are more advantage slots play winning strategies possible at tribal casinos because there is no upper payout return limit, but there is a subtlety here that matters. Most, if not all, slots winning strategies become extremely unlikely only if the maximum payout return limit applies to each slot machine on a per-bet basis. That means that the precise wording of the state gaming regulations requires maximum payout return limits matters to slots players. If the law states that the limit applies to the average payout return for all slot machines in the casino, then it's a much less significant restriction than that same limit applied to each slot machine. Further, it's only slightly more significant if the law states that the limit applies over the lifetime of a slot machine. Yes, some slot machines aren't on the casino floor for very long before being switched out. However, many of them stay on the casino floor for quite some time, including for years. It's usually only the new but proven to be unpopular and soon to be removed slots, which the casino would have to be careful about not exceeding the maximum limit during its relatively short lifetime. It's only when the law states that the limit applies to individual slot machines on a per-bet basis that slot strategies based on the casino setup of their slot machines becomes a real difficulty. There's another subtlety here worth mentioning. Do you like to play the newer slot machines? Do you like to play the latest game themes? If you do, and live in a state with a per-machine lifetime payout return limit, then be wary. Be wary because that machine may have to be taken off the casino floor shortly due to being unpopular. In fact, it doesn't even matter if it's going to be popular. Under that wording of the state law, that the upper limit applies over the lifetime of a slot machine, then the casino can't risk promoting that machine by providing odds of winning over that maximum payout return limit. Meaning you won't be able to win, and if someone else wins anything particularly significant, then it's even worse. Then the casino is forced to reduce the odds of winning until the actual payout return meets the state gaming regulation. This is something of a if statement, but worth spending 5 minutes of your time looking into the wording of the maximum payout return limit within the state gaming regulations of any state you play slots in. So, after all that, we need to ask ourselves, what's the wording in the New Mexico state gaming regulations at commercial casinos for their maximum payout return limit of 96%? And this is where I found my mistake. Despite what I'd written online, I used a secondary reference which stated a maximum payout return of 96%. But when I just now dug through many pages of the state gaming regulations, I found no such upper theoretical limit. Yes, the minimum limit is 80% with the wording specifically stating it's for over the lifetime of the machine. But it turns out that there is no upper theoretical limit of 96% or any other upper payout return limit for commercial casinos in New Mexico. Be assured that going forward I won't trust secondary sources. Instead, I'll just have to go through the state gaming regulations when considering gaming law requirements in each state. With everything being online and the ability to keyword search 100-plus page documents easily, it's easy and the only way to be sure. So I'm learning to be cautious, and that means I just can't remove my prior statement regarding the maximum theoretical payout return limit without more checks. Secondary sources of information are sometimes partially right and occasionally fully wrong. The former may be the case here. For example, it may be slot machines at nonprofit organizations only have an upper theoretical limit. What all this means is I'll need to dig into this deeper as the opportunity permits. After all, I wouldn't want to be duped a second time. In any case, I just updated my website article on this state with what, in fact, I do know. In summary, New Mexico slot machine casino gambling consists of 5 commercial pari-mutuel racinos with slot machines, 21 tribal or Pablo casinos, and 60 nonprofit organizations spread throughout the state. Tribal casinos have a minimum payout return limit of 80% per each tribal state compact. State regulations require slot machine payout returns of at least 80%. There are no legal requirements that racinos, nonprofits, or tribal casinos publicly provide payout return percentages for their electronic gaming machines. Over the last year, the Camel Rock Casino, a tribal casino in Santa Fe, has permanently closed. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is New York Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. New York Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 4 casino resorts, 9 pari-mutuel racing racinos, and 11 tribal casinos. Each tribal casino has either Class 2 or Class 3 gaming machines. Cruise ships to international destinations with onboard casinos depart from the New York Manhattan Cruise Terminal. Canadian casinos in Ontario are readily available across the border from Buffalo and in Montreal. Only VLTs at Class 3 tribal casinos have a legally set minimum payout return. Payout returns from the commercial casino resorts are the only statistics available to the public. The minimum legal gambling age in New York depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, it's either 21 or 18. For poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, the lottery, and pari-mutuel wagering, it's 18. The legal age for gambling is 21 for casinos run by the Seneca Nation of Indians through the Seneca Gaming Corporation, but 18 for other casinos in the state of New York. Tribal casinos in the state of New York had only Class 2 bingo halls until 1993. That year, a successfully negotiated state tribal compact was approved for Class 3 Vegas-style gaming by the federally recognized St. Regis Mohawk tribe. Per such tribal state compacts, slot machines at all Class 3 tribal casinos are video lottery terminals, VLTs, controlled by the New York State Lottery. While these electronic games appear as typical video slot machines, the results of a bet are instead determined by the central lottery system. At non-tribal casinos, the results of a bet on a slot machine is not determined by the state's lottery server, but instead by a microchip in the machine itself or by a central computer server located in the casino. Up next is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In New York, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if it is 30 years old or older. Created in 2012, the New York State Gaming Commission was merged from the New York State Division of Lottery and the New York State Racing and Wagering Board. As a result, the Commission regulates all aspects of gaming activity in the state of New York, including charitable gaming. In this section, I'll discuss New York gambling establishments. Residents of the state of New York have many types of casinos available to them, including 4 commercial casino resorts, 11 American Indian tribal casinos, of which 4 tribal casinos have Class II competition-style slots, and 7 tribal casinos have Class III Vegas-style slots. There's also 9 pari-mutuel racetracks with slot machines. These are racinos. There's cruise ships departing from the New York Manhattan Cruise Terminal. There's Canadian casinos across the border to the province of Ontario, and Canadian casinos across the border to the province of Quebec. The largest casino in New York is Resorts World Casino New York City in Jamaica, Queens, a pari-mutuel racino having 4,995 gaming machines and 475 table games. The second largest casino is Seneca Niagara Casino and Hotel in Niagara Falls, a tribal casino with Class III Vegas-style gaming, having 3,300 gaming machines and 100 table games. The 13 casino resorts and pari-mutuel wagering facilities with slot machines in New York are listed along with links to the website, assuming they've set one up, on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/ny. There you also find a list of the 11 Class II bingo-style and Class III Vegas-style tribal casinos in the state of New York. The state of New York has an extraordinary gaming industry. It doesn't have the most casinos, not even close to other U.S. states, but it certainly has most types of casinos. New York has tribal casinos with and without tribal compacts, casino resorts, racinos, cruise ships, and even readily accessible international casinos just across the border to Canada. Like I said, it's extraordinary. Residents of the Empire State, further complicate the state gaming industry. To wit, some residents in the New York City area are willing and able to spend a great deal of money gambling, and some do. Having well-heeled gamblers readily available creates certain dynamics in the southern New England gaming market, even going so far as to make neighboring states work hard to figure out how to attract such gamblers. In turn, this drives the New York state government to take steps to retain them simply for the potential of increased state income tax revenue. This increased tax income has a subtle, or even less than subtle, effect of easing the way for additional approvals for various proposed casino gambling options. So, indeed, the casino gambling market in the state of New York is extraordinary. My only quibble with it is how hard it is to make a good recommendation to anyone asking my advice about gambling there. My New York article for this year, particularly the payout return section, is my best attempt yet at explaining available slot machine gambling options and how to make the most of them. As an alternative to enjoying New York slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. New York is bordered by, to the north, the Canadian provinces of Ontario and Quebec, to the east, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont, and to the south and west, Pennsylvania and New Jersey. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Connecticut slots article is available at professorslots.com/CT. Canadian casinos exist across the international border from the state of New York, in the Niagara Falls area near Buffalo, as well as the upstate New York area in Montreal. The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, the Ontario government's gaming control agency, is switching operators for the casinos near Buffalo in the summer of 2019. Individually, Casino Niagara and Niagara Falls View Casino Resort will no longer be operated by Falls Management Group LP, but instead by Mohegan Gaming and Entertainment. Given the many types of gaming regulations for slot machines in the state of New York, payout return limits and reporting statistics come in several varieties. I will review each. Class II competition-style electronic gaming machines at tribal casinos are subject to tribal state compacts only, which do not set limits nor require public reporting. Class III Vegas-style tribal casinos have VLTs controlled by the New York State Lottery. These VLT slot machines have a minimum payout return of 92%. No actual payout return statistics are publicly available. Betting results for slot machines at commercial casino resorts and pari-mutuel racinos are controlled on location per usual machine internal microchip or casino central server. Commercial casino resorts and parimutuel racinos do not appear to have a minimum payout return limit. Actual payout returns are publicly available for both from the State Gaming Commission, but on separate web pages. These are weekly and monthly reports. Be aware that win percent is not provided directly in the monthly reports. For slots, a small calculation is necessary. Specifically, divide the credits won column by the credits played column, then multiply the result by 100% to get the percentage of payout returned to the player. For the weekly reports, the formula for win percent is slightly different. In these reports, credits won is not directly available but calculated by adding together the two columns promotional slot gaming credits and slot ETG GGR. These reports are in PDF format but also in Microsoft Excel spreadsheet form, which if you already have and use Excel makes this calculation relatively easy. The payout return for the current fiscal year is at the bottom of the credits won column. Payout return statistics for each casino resort is publicly available at the Commission's Commercial Gaming Reports webpage. The monthly payout return for February 2019 at each casino resort is available at professorslots.com/ny. In February 2019, the highest payout return for a commercial casino resort was at Tioga Downs with 91.38%, while the lowest payout return was at Rivers Casino with 90.55%. Payout return statistics for VLT-style video slot machines at racinos is publicly available at the Commission's Video Gaming Reports webpage. The monthly payout return for February 2019 at each racino, including an entry for all racinos in the state, is also available at professorslots.com/ny. In February 2019, the highest payout return for a parimutuel racino was at Nassau Downs at Resorts World New York City with 97.39%. while the lowest payout return was at Vernon Downs with 91.40%. For the same month, the overall state total was 94.08%. In summary, New York slot machine casino gambling consists of 4 casino resorts, 9 racinos, 4 tribal casinos with Class 2 bingo-style machines, and 7 tribal casinos with Class 3 Vegas-style slots. Residents of the state of New York also have international cruise ships and Canadian casinos available to them. Only VLTs at Class 3 tribal casinos have a legally set minimum payout return, which is 92%, as they are operated by the state lottery. Tribal casinos do not offer payout return statistics, but casino resorts and racinos have extensive weekly and monthly public reports available online. Over the last year, the Monticello Casino and Raceway has announced it will be closing on April 23, 2019, at which point it will be uniting with Resorts World Catskills. In the summer of 2019, the Ontario casinos across the Canadian border from Buffalo will be changing operators to Mohegan Gaming and Entertainment as arranged by the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, the Ontario government agency responsible for conducting and managing casino gaming in Ontario. The number of slot machines at Resorts World Casino, New York City has been reduced by 10%, from 5,550 to 4,995. Finally, in the last year, the new Class 3 Vegas-style tribal casino, Point Place Casino, opened in Bridgeport. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is North Carolina Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. North Carolina slot machine casino gambling consists of 2 American Indian tribal casinos. Their video machines are legally required to be games of skill or dexterity. Tribal state gaming compacts in North Carolina have established minimum and maximum payout returns for their video gaming machines, but actual returns are not publicly reported. The minimum legal gambling age in North Carolina depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and for poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo and the lottery, it's 18. And for parimutuel wagering, it's not available. Video poker machines were once widespread in the state, but in 2000, state regulations were enacted which limited video poker machines to 3 per location, as well as banning the installation of any new video gaming machines. After nearly a half-dozen attempts, the state legislature finally completely banned commercially owned video poker machines and video gaming machines in 2007. The state of North Carolina and the federally recognized Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians negotiated a tribal state compact in 1994. This gaming compact only allows for Class 3 video games, which include an element of skill or dexterity. Are you a history buff? Reading the Wikipedia article Gambling in North Carolina nearly turned me into one. Let's see if some of this interests you too. The first gambling laws in North Carolina appeared in 1749, 40 years before North Carolina became a state. To discourage gambling, North Carolina adopted an English statute invalidating gambling debts greater than 100 pounds. I'd convert that for you to U.S. dollars if U.S. dollars existed less than 25 years later. I was surprised to discover how easy it is to figure out how much 100 pounds sterling in 1776 was worth in U.S. dollars. Simply look up how much 100 pounds from 1776 is today, alongside how much $100 is in 1776 is worth today, and the difference is a factor of 5.5. More precisely, 100 pounds sterling was worth $550 in 1776. So if you had a gambling debt of more than 100 pounds sterling in 1749, which, without accumulated interest or investment, would be equivalent to $550 27 years later, in 1776, that gambling debt could not legally be collected. Think about it. You're in North Carolina in 1749. You want to gamble, but no gambling operation will allow you to collect more than 100 pounds of debt. They'd have to actively stop you if they ever wanted to collect. Can you imagine how so very different that is from today's gambling laws? Nowadays, a casino employee can easily lose their job if they suggest any gambler stop gambling. These days, it's a common casino business employee policy. But it gets worse, or better, depending on your point of view. In 1749, as I mentioned, North Carolina has a statute where any gambling debt greater than 100 British pounds sterling was invalidated. That law was changed 4 years later, in 1753, to a different amount of gambling debt. It was significantly reduced. In fact, gambling debts were reduced to zero. Some of the details here are especially interesting. Gambling debts are owned after gambling. During gambling, technically, it is instead called gambling losses. Why does this matter? Because the law is different for gambling losses versus gambling debts. Starting in 1753, any amount of gambling debt was invalidated, but gambling losses could occur. However, the 1753 law placed a cap on gambling losses. That cap was 8 shillings per deck of cards and 10 shillings per dice game. There are 20 shillings per 1 British pound sterling. These extraordinary measures, and others mentioned in the Wikipedia article, were meant to significantly discourage gambling through gaming regulations on gambling operators. They only lasted until 1791, less than 40 years later, when all forms of gambling via table games were completely banned in North Carolina. Thinking about it, doesn't this history lesson tell us a lot about today's attitude towards gambling in North Carolina? For instance, consider early lotteries in North Carolina. Lotteries were common in early American history when used to promote good causes. North Carolina's first lottery was in 1761 to raise money to improve navigation on the New River, a 50-mile-long river in southeastern North Carolina that empties into the Atlantic Ocean in Onslow Bay. From 1809 to 1835, the North Carolina State Legislature approved 62 such lotteries. However, they were banned beginning in 1835 as part of a national movement against lotteries. Again, understanding the history of gambling in a state where you are gambling can provide remarkable insights in the modern-day state gaming market, as well as upcoming gaming developments. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but we can only know where we are going if we know where we've been. Or is it, without knowing the past, we are doomed to repeat it? In any case, I made a note to myself to consider adding a history section to my state-by-state articles when I begin my third series through them, starting in about 6 months. We'll have to see if that works out. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to privately own a slot machine in the state of North Carolina if it is 25 years old or older. In part because North Carolina only has tribal casinos and no commercial casinos, North Carolina does not have a state gaming commission. There are 2 American Indian tribal casinos in North Carolina. Both are in the Great Smoky Mountains in the western part of the state. The largest casino in North Carolina is Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort in Cherokee, having 3,280 gaming machines and 100 table games. The second largest casino is Harrah's Cherokee Valley River Casino and Hotel in Murphy, having 1,000 gaming machines and 70 table games. There are no non-tribal or commercial casinos in North Carolina. North Carolina has a single federally recognized American Indian tribe, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. The tribe has built 2 casinos on its Qualla boundary lands located in the Great Smoky Mountains. The type of casino action found in these Indian casinos includes, quote, skill or dexterity, end quote, based video slot machines. These tribal casinos also offer a variety of table games. While owned by the tribe, both casinos are operated by Harrah's, which itself is owned by Caesars Entertainment. The tribe operates a high-stakes bingo hall. These two tribal casinos in North Carolina are 1. Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort in Cherokee, found about 50 miles west of Asheville, and 2. Harrah's Cherokee Valley River Casino and Hotel in Murphy, found 109 miles southwest of Asheville. As an alternative to enjoying North Carolina slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. North Carolina is bordered by, to the north, Virginia, to the east, the Atlantic Ocean, to the south, Georgia and South Carolina, and to the west, Tennessee. To visit any of my articles in these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its two-letter designation. For example, my Virginia Slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/VA. Minimum and maximum payout returns exist for both tribal casinos in North Carolina. These limits are legally set through their tribal state gaming compact to be between 83% and 98%. However, tribal casinos in North Carolina are not required to provide payout return statistics to the state and are therefore not publicly available. In summary, North Carolina slot machine casino gambling consists of two tribal casinos in Murphy and Cherokee. While owned by the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, Caesars Entertainment operates both of them. Tribal casinos in North Carolina provide payout return percentages between 83% and 98%, but do not provide payout returns to the state. Further, North Carolina slot machines must be video games of skill or dexterity. Over the last year, there has been little to no change in the gaming industry within North Carolina. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is North Dakota Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. North Dakota slot machine casino gambling consists of 6 American Indian tribal casinos. Further, North Dakota has statewide charitable gaming, including blackjack and poker, but slot machines aren't allowed either there or at North Dakota's 2 racetracks. Minimum and maximum payout return limits have been set, with different minimum limits for video poker and video blackjack versus real and video slot machines. However, actual payout return statistics are not publicly available. The minimum legal gambling age in North Dakota depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, it's 18 or younger if accompanied by an adult. For the lottery and for parimutuel wagering, it's 18. Starting in 1992, the U.S. Department of the Interior has approved 5 negotiated state tribal gaming compacts allowing Class 3 casino-style gambling at American Indian tribal casinos in North Dakota. At these tribal casinos, the maximum bet is $25. Up next is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In North Dakota, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if it is 25 years old or older. The North Dakota State Gaming Commission is the licensing and gaming division of the Attorney General's office and is responsible for enforcing gaming regulations on charitable gaming, tribal gaming, and the North Dakota Lottery. With regards to tribal gaming, the division conducts random inspections at the state's tribal casinos to ensure game integrity and compliance with wager limits and prize payout ratios. In this section, I'll discuss North Dakota gaming establishments. There are 6 American Indian tribal casinos in North Dakota. The largest casino in North Dakota is Dakota Magic Casino Resort in Hankinson, having 1,001 gaming machines and 18 table games. The second largest casino is Sky Dancer Hotel Casino and Resort in Belcourt, having 820 gaming machines and 10 table games. There are also 2 racetrack parimutuel facilities, Chippewa Downs and North Dakota Horse Park, as well as a series of off-track betting locations in the state. There are no legally allowed slot machines at these locations. North Dakota also has a wide selection of sites, over 800 locations statewide, for charitable gaming. Blackjack is common, as is bingo, pull tabs, punch boards, 21, Calcuttas, sports pools, paddle wheels, and poker. However, again, there are no legally allowed slot machines at these locations. The 6 tribal casinos in North Dakota are listed along with links to the website, assuming they've set one up, on my website blog article for the state at ProfessorSlots.com/ND. As an alternative to enjoying North Dakota slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. North Dakota is bordered by, to the north, the Canadian provinces of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, to the east, Minnesota, to the south, South Dakota, and to the west, Montana. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com, followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Minnesota Slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/MN. Per each of the 5 tribal state gaming compacts, slot machines have payout returns between 80% and 100%. Further, games of skill such as video poker and video blackjack have payout returns between 83% and 100%. Monthly gaming statistics are not publicly available, as the state tribal gaming compacts for these American Indian tribal casinos do not require them. The only slots I found in North Dakota are at its 5 tribal casinos. In general, they're spread around the state. From Bismarck, which is slightly south of the center of North Dakota, there are 2 casinos to the northwest about 80 miles apart, and 1 casino each to the north, northeast, south, and southeast. All but the casino to the south of Bismarck are at least a 2-hour drive away. The casino to the south of Bismarck is almost an hour away. The 2 closest tribal casinos are the Grand Treasure Casino near the western border of North Dakota, and only 60 miles to the east, the Four Bears Casino and Lodge. One of the interesting aspects of a state's gaming market is when there are relatively few casinos distributed rather evenly throughout the state. This lack of competition for the attention of casino goers is a profound business opportunity for casino operators. If a casino operator does something which casino goers don't like, such as significantly lower their theoretical payout return limit, what can slots players do? They can stop going to casinos altogether or travel 60 miles to the next nearest casino. In most parts of North Dakota, it's not even 60 miles. It's more like 160 miles. This isn't to say that slot machine casino gambling is terrible in North Dakota. It may happen to be, but whatever the case may be, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. As usual, my question is, in general, this. Hey, that's an interesting situation. I wonder how we might take advantage of it. Well, what do you think? In summary, North Dakota slot machine casino gambling consists of 6 tribal casinos, where a 6th tribal casino opened within the last year in St. Michael. The maximum bet is $25. Slot machines are unavailable at pari-mutuel wagering facilities or at charitable gaming sites. Slot machines have a minimum payout return of 80%, while video games of skill have been set to 83%. Both types of gaming machine have a maximum payout return of 100%. Actual payout return statistics are not publicly available. In the last year, the Spirit Lake Casino and Resort in St. Michael opened its doors, making it the 6th tribal casino in North Dakota. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is Northern Mariana Islands Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. Northern Mariana Islands Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 7 commercial casinos. 5 of these casinos are on the island of Saipan. The remaining are in San Jose on the island of Tinian. Cruise ships casinos are open when docked. The Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands has become dominated by Imperial Pacific, a Chinese casino company, which has introduced a mega casino to Saipan. The minimum legal gambling age in Northern Mariana Islands depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. It is not available for bingo, lottery, and pari-mutuel wagering. Saipan's legislature legalized gambling in 2014. This occurred without a vote by residents after years of rejection by mostly Catholic voters. As recently as 2017, new gaming regulations were under development. Recent gambling changes in CNMI, that is to say the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, have been dramatic. After a fact-finding trip to Hong Kong, a bill authorizing a casino concession passed with little debate and with futile resistance from activists. The second bid was the Chinese company Imperial Pacific for a $3 billion mega resort far exceeding Saipan's economy. It is officially the Imperial Pacific Resort Hotel, but advertised as the Macau of the Mariana Trench and referred to by locals as Satan's Palace. In August 2015, Imperial Pacific won the bid in exchange for a $15 million annual fee and other fixed payments. This revenue was sufficient to address Saipan's long-term and severe economic difficulties. Unfortunately for Saipan future economics, the casino contract terms include 1. A 25-year monopoly on the casino industry in Saipan, and 2. There is no taxation of any casino gambling income by Saipan. The casino is only half completed and without a functioning sprinkler system. Despite this, the casino has been welcoming high rollers from China since July 2018. Beforehand, a temporary location opened in a duty-free mall across the street from the casino construction site. There, fewer than 20 tables turned over $5.3 billion. That's a billion with a B, in the first 3 months of opening at the temporary location. This gaming revenue is more than 30% of the gaming revenue at Wynn Macau, with its resort of 192 tables, 5-star restaurants, and more. Put another way, as reported by Casino.org, which you can reach by using my easy-to-remember link, ProfessorSlots.com/Earth, it is, quote, the most profitable casino on Earth, end quote. For much more coverage, including construction worker deaths and millions paid to the family of Saipan's governor, consider the Bloomberg article called A Chinese Casino Has Conquered a Piece of America. Regarding slot machine private ownership, there is no information available online regarding private ownership of a slot machine on the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Article 21 of the Constitution of the U.S. Territory of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands prohibits gambling, except as provided by Commonwealth law and established through an initiative in the Commonwealth or any senatorial district. According to my best understanding at this moment, Saipan has its Commonwealth Casino Commission established through an initiative in the Commonwealth, while Tinian has the Tinian Casino Gaming Control Commission established through its senatorial district. The largest casino in the Northern Mariana Islands is Imperial Pacific Resort Hotel in Garapan on the island of Saipan. The 5 casinos on the island of Saipan are 1. Best Sunshine Live Garapan in Garapan, 2. Club 88 Garapan in Garapan, 3. Club 88 Mariana Resort and Spa in Garapan, 4. Club C E-Gaming Club in Sasupi, and 5. Imperial Pacific Resort in Garapan. The 2 casinos on the island of Tinian are 1. Plumeria Golf and Casino Resort in San Jose, and 2. Tinian Ocean View Casino Resort in San Jose. No federally recognized American Indian tribes exist on the Northern Mariana Islands. Therefore, there are no tribal casinos there. As an alternative to enjoying Northern Mariana Islands slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state or territory. The Northern Mariana Islands has nearby, to the east, Hawaii slots, to the south, Guam slots. To visit any of my articles on this U.S. state or territory, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Hawaii slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/HI. Slot machine payout return statistics are not available to the public, including any legal establishment of minimum payout return limits. I have to say, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands has the most dynamic gaming industry of any U.S. state, territory, or federal district. I saw some of the information I researched about Imperial Pacific Resort, not all of which I provided in my own article on Northern Mariana Islands, show up on the evening news the next night. They reported that the offices of the Imperial Pacific Resort had been raided by the FBI that day or the day before, probably on the same night I wrote my article. Mostly it was about the deaths of construction workers, Chinese workers working there illegally under terrible working conditions, so bad that a lot of them were dying while on the job. Because the Northern Mariana Islands is a U.S. territory, it is under the protection of U.S. federal laws, including protecting Chinese foreign nationals working there illegally. The territorial government may well have been bought by China, but it's still a U.S. territory. This doesn't even touch on somewhat obvious national security concerns. Moving past all that, I'm having a very hard time predicting what is going to happen over the next year in the U.S. territory of the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands. Will it become a Chinese protectorate? If so, that has military implications. I never really expected to find myself writing an article like this, about a likely compromised local government and a potential land grab by a foreign power. And I only said likely because I don't want China mad at little old me. Once again, but with an excessive amount of feeling this time, we shall see what the next year holds for this U.S. gaming jurisdiction. Wow. In summary, the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands slot machine casino gambling consists of 7 commercial casinos. 5 of these casinos are on the island of Saipan. The remaining are in San Jose on the island of Tinian. Cruise ship casinos are open while docked. The Imperial Pacific Hotel Resort, a mega resort owned and operated by a Chinese company, is generating significant gaming industry change as well as international controversy on this territory of the United States. In the last year, the CNMI government and economy has become dominated by Imperial Pacific, a Chinese casino company which has introduced a mega casino in Saipan. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is Ohio Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2019. Here goes. Ohio Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists of 11 gaming facilities. 4 standalone casinos have table games and control their slot machines. 7 pari-mutuel casinos have horse races and video lottery terminals, VLT-style slot machines, controlled by the state lottery. The casinos and racinos have the same minimum payout return limits. Each type of casino has publicly available payout statistics, although they are from different gaming commissions. The minimum legal gambling age in Ohio depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, the lottery, and pari-mutuel wagering, it's 18. In 1933, an approved constitutional amendment legalized pari-mutuel wagering at racetracks. The first half of the 1970s saw the arrival of the lottery and charitable bingo. Social poker games have always existed, where the house must not profit from the game. The initial operators of Ohio's 4 casinos backed a proposed constitutional amendment. In November 2009, 52% of voters approved the constitutional amendment, allowing 1 casino in the cities of Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, and Toledo. In addition to the usual fees and taxes imposed on Ohio businesses, the constitutional amendment required or specified 1. A 33% tax on gross casino revenue. 2. Distribution of the proceeds of the tax. 3. A license fee of $50 million per casino dedicated to workforce development. 4. An initial capital investment of $250 million for the development of each casino facility. 5. The existence of the Ohio Casino Control Commission. And 6. The Ohio General Assembly would pass other laws to facilitate the operation of the Casino Gaming Amendment. This included a maximum of 5,000 slot machines at each casino facility, and that there is no limit on the number of table games allowed. Consequently, other aspects of the amendment impacted Ohio's gaming industry outside of establishing 4 casinos. For instance, subsequent changes in state lottery legislation allowed pari-mutuel racetracks to begin offering video lottery terminal, VLT, style slot machines in 2012. These were the first racinos in Ohio. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to privately own a slot machine in the state of Ohio without restriction as to its date of manufacture. In 1973, a constitutional amendment established the Ohio Lottery Commission. The Ohio Lottery is responsible for and controls the video slot machines found at Ohio's 7 racinos. These pari-mutuel racetracks began adding VLT-style slot machines starting in 2012. In 2009, a constitutional amendment created the Ohio Casino Control Commission. Its website is comprehensive but only applies to slot machine casino gambling at Ohio's 4 casinos. The State Gaming Commission offers significant resources for slots players on the topics of responsible gambling, casino licensing, regulatory compliance, enforcement, legal topics, skill games topics, and Ohio gaming news. For instance, enforcement provides quarterly and fiscal year gaming crimes and statistics, including offenses by statute. In 2018, the most common offense was fake or false ID, closely followed by theft. Together, they constituted more than 30% of gaming crimes. There are 4 commercial non-tribal casinos and 7 racetrack racinos in Ohio. There are no tribal casinos in the state. The largest casino in Ohio is MGM Northfield Park, a racetrack racino near Cleveland, formerly known as Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield, having 2,300 gaming machines and 0 table games. The second largest casino is Hollywood Casino Columbus, the standalone casino in Columbus, having 2,150 gaming machines and 79 table games. The 4 casinos in Ohio are 1. Hollywood Casino Columbus in Ohio's capital city of Columbus. 2. Hollywood Casino Toledo, found 140 miles north of Columbus, near the border to Michigan. 3. Jack Cincinnati Casino, found 106 miles southwest of Columbus, near Kentucky and Indiana, in downtown Cincinnati. And 4. Jack Cleveland Casino, found 144 miles northeast of Columbus, near Lake Erie, in downtown Cleveland. The 7 pari-mutuel racetrack racinos with VLT-style slots in Ohio are listed on my online resource article for this state at professorslots.com/OH. No federally recognized American Indian tribes exist in Ohio. Consequently, Ohio has no tribal casinos. I currently live in southwestern Ohio. I moved here about 7 years ago from Connecticut, where I lived and worked for 6 years. Before that, I was in 2 graduate schools in Ames, Iowa for about 10 years. Finally, before that, I grew up and lived in Michigan. I had some pretty intense slot machine casino gambling experiences while in Iowa at Prairie Meadows Racetrack and Casino outside of Des Moines. I didn't have any intense gambling experiences in Michigan or Connecticut. Then there's Ohio. Ohio. In Ohio, I won 90 taxable jackpots, where a taxable jackpot is $1,200 or more in 9 months, at the end of which I won a car. I've mentioned all this before, but perhaps you didn't know I did this in Ohio. When I lived closer to Cincinnati, I started at Horseshoe Casino Cincinnati back before Jack Casino purchased more than a 50% ownership, as well as Belterra Park Raceway, just outside and east of Cincinnati. Belterra Park is now owned by Boyd Gaming. So I know these 2 casinos very well indeed. Many of the slot attendants and most of those that service the high-limit slot rooms once all knew me by name. I say once because the slots gaming situation has changed significantly at both of these casinos. I should explain what's going on. Before Jack Casino obtained a controlling interest of Horseshoe Casino Cincinnati, the Horseshoe management team worked very hard to sell itself. I think from the beginning this was the whole reason for them building that casino in downtown Cincinnati in the first place. Seriously. At the time, there was no open casino in the area as Belterra Park was undergoing a tremendous renovation project. Among other facility changes, they moved the horse track down the road to stop it from being flooded by the Ohio River all the time. So Horseshoe opened in an area of Ohio without a casino. There were none in Kentucky, and the casinos in Indiana weren't particularly modern or even nearby. So to launch their casino properly, to get a bunch of locals to start gambling, they made it easy to win during their first year. Simple, right? If you got the budget already planned out and funded, then that's the way to launch a casino. Get people started gambling, and the next year when they have started gambling but before they've become too wise about it, start lowering the odds of winning to start getting your investment dollars back. Not too fast, though. In the second year, just make it a little bit harder to win. But in the third year, force everybody you can into bankruptcy. Then shop for a new casino owner before your new reputation catches up with you. That's essentially what happened at Horseshoe. At Belterra Park, they reopened their new facilities and also lowered their odds of winning. Maybe it would have been the same, with driving many people into bankruptcy, but Horseshoe did that first. So gamblers at Belterra Park more or less didn't go into bankruptcy because of Horseshoe Casino. And Belterra was able to sell themselves because their financials reflected that to prospective buyers, yet they maintained a decent reputation. It hardly mattered to Horseshoe that they had a bad reputation, as they were soon under new management. And the new management had its own plans, which didn't include a need to build a local base of gamblers. Horseshoe had taken care of that for them. So there I was, in the middle of all this. I didn't go into bankruptcy, although rumor has it most of my fellow high-limit slots players did. I didn't go into bankruptcy because I saw the casino as a business. I didn't anticipate a change of ownership, of course. Negotiations were kept very secret until well after the ownership change. Except I knew immediately, because the new owner's name was on my new W2G taxable jackpot form as soon as the new ownership took place. That's about the only way to find out fast. I suppose it might have been announced on some financial quarterly report filed to the SEC, if you could guess which casino operator might have bought it. I wasn't looking at those at the time. You might think new signs would have showed up at the casino. That's not what happens. New signs don't go up for about 6 months, when all the signs are switched out very quickly. In any case, that's my Ohio casino experience. It's the circumstances under which I learned much of what I talk about with you, at least the casino environment parts. If you're interested, I provide a lot of details about what I was learning at the time in my book, Learning to Win, available on Amazon as an ebook or softcover book. But nowadays, looking back, I've added some perspective, which I did not have at the time. Perhaps I've even gained some wisdom. These 2 casinos I learned so much at are not the same casinos I made a 5-figure profit at for 2 consecutive years. What I'm doing now with my own personal slot machine gambling, when I'm not playing slots to figure out something for you, is waiting. I'm waiting for an interesting change to occur at my nearby casinos. Is it that they'll change owners? Will another casino open? What's the advantage? When I'm not playing slots to learn something to explain to you, I play to win. I play to win big. And right now, I don't see a way to do that at my local casinos. Again, and please forgive me for saying this as much as I like and appreciate you, I'm not sure I would tell you if I went back to winning a 5-figure or more profit at slots gambling at my local casinos. Can you blame me? At least I wouldn't tell you where it was happening. I'd certainly document everything and tell you all about it later. I have no doubt of that. You might even be able to find the same things happening at one of the casinos you like to play slots at. But honestly, I don't currently have a winning strategy at my local casinos. Sure, I can walk out with slightly more than I walk in with, but I usually spend my small bankroll trying something new for you. I could walk out with a very small profit, maybe up to $50 or $100 profit on a $200 bankroll. But I'd rather invest the money in my business, this business, to learn something useful for you. For me, that's where I'm at with my Ohio slot machine casino gambling. As an alternative to enjoying Ohio slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Ohio is, to the north, Michigan and Lake Erie, to the east, Pennsylvania, to the southeast, West Virginia, to the south, Kentucky, and to the west, Indiana. To visit any of my articles in these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Michigan Slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/MI. In OAC Chapter 3772.20, Ohio's Gaming Control Act states the minimum theoretical payout return is 85% for slot machines at Ohio's 4 casinos. Under compliance at the Ohio Casino Control Commission are monthly casino revenue reports with payout return statistics for slots. Their payout return statistics are divided up by month, statewide, and Ohio's 4 casinos. In March 2019, actual payout return statistics for the 4 casinos were Hollywood Casino Columbus, 91.85%, Hollywood Casino Toledo, 90.36%, Jack Cincinnati Casino, 91.65%, Jack Cleveland Casino, 91.18%, and statewide average, 91.48%. Ohio's 7 racinos only have VLT-style slot machines controlled by the Ohio Lottery. QAC Chapter 3772.20 states in its video lottery game rules that VLTs will have an average minimum payout return of 85% during the expected lifetime of the game. VLT payout return statistics by month, as well as for each Ohio racino, are at VLT fiscal revenue reports. For March 2019, payout return statistics for the 7 casinos are available on my online blog article for the state at ProfessorSlots.com/OH. For March 2019, the highest payout return for any casino or racino in Ohio was at Hollywood Casino Columbus, followed closely by Miami Valley Gaming. The lowest was at Hollywood Gaming Mahoning Valley Racecourse, followed closely by Hollywood Gaming Dayton Raceway. In summary, Ohio slot machine casino gambling consists of 4 freestanding casinos and 7 parimutuel racetrack racinos having VLT-style slot machines. The minimum payout return limit is 85% for slot machines at casinos and VLT-style slots at racinos. Each full casino and racino reports payout return statistics for slots through their respective gaming or lottery commissions, where they are publicly available. As announced in February 2019, the Hard Rock Racino Northfield, near Cleveland, will become MGM Northfield Park. In mid-July 2018, MGM Growth Properties paid $1 billion for the property and later announced MGM Resorts International would take over operations at the racino. In late 2018, Boyd Gaming purchased Belterra Park, an entertainment center, a racetrack racino outside of Cincinnati, for $57.7 million. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. I have a brief programming update. It's been slightly more than a month since my last episode was published, due to it being a pretty busy spring for me, not just because of taking care of family things after my mom's passing in January, but because it's been rather intense at my day job. Unfortunately, I don't see either of these demands in my spare time changing much over the next few months. However, they should smooth out quite a bit towards the end of summer. I'm looking forward to that. I'm committed to long-term support of my Professor Slots business, but no doubt there will be times when I'm only working on one aspect of it, like researching my next article. Everything I've read about having a successful business says to always have good content, to not publish poor content, even if there's a longer stretch between posts or episodes. Nevertheless, I'll keep pressing myself to turn around and publish my next bit of content as soon as I can. I easily have enough topics in mind for another 150 articles. Thanks for your indulgence and patience with this quick update. Now let's get on with closing out this episode. Recently, I was on the You Can Bet on That podcast for the Recreational Gambler by Mark Duvall and Dr. Mike. I called in with a slots tip about how to use a touch screen when it isn't working very well. Basically, just touch the screen with a bit of metal, such as your car key, instead of using your finger. Rather than explain here why that works, I'll let you check out my explanation in their podcast episode number 179. I'd like to welcome new listeners to the show, thanks to that interview. If you're interested in this interview, simply visit professorslots.com/interview7. Lucky number 7. That easy-to-remember link will take you directly to You Can Bet on That's podcast episode number 179. You can hear me starting at the 53-minute mark. I really like their show for the recreational gambler. They are the first show I recommend when anyone asks me about non-slots related gambling. It's nice how people laugh with enjoyment when I explain how they are, like most other gambling podcasts, a drinking podcast for the recreational gambler. Maybe you'll laugh with enjoyment as well. They hardly mention slots, though. Part 1 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast is not yet determined. I suspect it will be the companion to today's article, my review of the annual financial report of SGC's competitor, International Game Technology IGT. To make a suggestion or ask a question which might end up as a blog article or on a podcast episode, email it to john@professorslots.com, where John is spelled Jon, or by calling 702-90-SLOTS to leave a 3-minute or less voicemail. I'd appreciate your casino trip reports about playing slots if you'd care to offer that. Part 2 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast are more brief overviews of the current state of gambling in 2 U.S. states, territories, or federal district. Next time, I'll be talking to you about the great U.S. states of Oklahoma, Oregon, and possibly Pennsylvania as well. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Show notes for this episode are now available within most podcast apps, but are also available on my website at professorslots.com/E51. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.